You go to an atmosphere like that, you go to a stadium like that, do not give them any encouragement on their press. They come in committed to it. They've got dogs in midfield. I mean, they've got dogs all over the place, really. And I mean that as a compliment more than anything else.
Yeah, rightly so.
And, they're going to do their thing. And Liverpool are so loose with possession. Their touch is a bit off. It's all the things you just don't show any signs of encouragement in that phase of the game. And it's intelligence on and off the ball that Liverpool just had none of. And I think when you've got that, then you're putting yourself in such a difficult situation. I don't think they were bad enough to necessarily lose the game. I think a draw is probably the right result. But
the reason why I feel like the draw is the right result, genuinely, is because it's not a penalty.
Yeah,
it's the softest penalty you could imagine.
It's one of them you get in Europe, but not in the league, probably. I think that's like a lot of fouls in that game, and you can see by the manager's reaction a lot of the time. Where in the Premier League, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but those things kind of get let go, and that might be down to incompetence from referees.
Not in this instance, I don't think.
No, not in this instance. No, totally not. It just really surprised me, given that the players that were on that pitch, the lack of intelligence that Liverpool showed, and just sort of, it spread around the whole team at various phases. Everyone was loose in their own way, on and off the ball. And I think, when you do that, then maybe that's when you can say you deserve to lose the match. When you've got the quality and you've got the wealth of experience in different ways. Even the new signings have experience. Wirtz has played in Europe. All these players, have got a decent amount of experience. They're not a young up-and-coming side that have just made it into the Champions League for the first time. And that's the bit where I struggle with, because I don't know what you do to kind of fix that.
For me, this is one of those games, Steve, where everyone's poor performance rubs up against everybody else's and it makes it worse. No one grabs it to make it better. No one. So a really good example of that is, I think actually Wirtz plays really well first half, and he's making things happen, and he's bright and he's involved. And then by the time we get to 60 minutes, my God, is he a fucking drain? But he's not the only fucking drain. They're all drains by that stage, because that's what they've done to each other. They've made each other effectively hate the idea of playing football.
Yeah, you get those games where it just feels like it's catching, and you go, there's no real reason why all of these players should be giving the ball away so cheaply, should be so careless in possession. But there obviously there must be a reason. So I think Wirtz in possession at times. There's loads of times when I go, wow, you've played exactly the right ball. The way it passes is brilliant. But just at times catching up with play, I feel like I struggle with it. I struggle with seeing exactly how he fits with what the man. It feels to me like almost the manager is so keen to use his new players, and it's almost like you get these new toys. And I think back to, ironically, I'd love to have seen a bit more Andy Robertson this season so far, and I almost think back to Andy Robertson when we signed him, and you just didn't see him for ages. See him, I think, at Leicester away in the League Cup, and then you go, okay, well, maybe the manager doesn't fancy him.
We'll work on that.
And the manager was just bold enough to go, I'm just not picking him for a while now. I'm going to make this work. And I just wonder if there's a little bit of that with maybe Frimpong, with maybe Kirkes, to just go, do you need to throw them all in this early on? Ekitike up and running, flying start, fantastic. Hope he's not as seriously injured as Rob Gutman's written him off forever now. Rob sat next to me. We've lost the goalkeeper and our number 9 for the rest of the season, so that's us done. I think that's unlikely. I feel like maybe it's just precautionary as much as anything, but we'll see. Obviously, we'll see. But flying start for him. He's been brilliant, and again, it's such a different game if he, with the way, it's almost not, I'd say he takes his chances if it's critical. I don't think he fails to take his chance. I think he does really well to shape his body, and I agree with Fuad that he was probably the bright spark in going forward in the first half. I mean, look, I think all three of the front three, as they were, did okay in moments. Gakpo creates the 2 big chances that we have in that first half, other than Ekitike's, and also has his own effort. So he could legitimately come away and go, I could have come away with a couple of assists there if Konate takes the chance. There's bits and pieces, and maybe there's more bits and pieces that the manager can take out as positives than we're taking out now, which will be good news for him. But yeah, I just wonder whether we might need to just go back a little bit of like how we looked last season when we won the league, and just blend things in a little bit more maybe than we have so far.